Cunners. He's a bloody tease, this bloke. He's a tease. Let's set it all up. So he's played 12 games in 2020, which is the most that he's been able to put together in a season in his career. He played the 9 in 2019 and started pretty well. Played the first 9 games in a row, which I don't think he's done that in his career before. He had obviously the incredible game against the Bombers in round 4, 28 disposals, just a fantastic game. Played him as a midfielder, and it's just frustrating to see him perform the way he does, because I've seen him play so much better. I mean, if you go back to 2020 preseason videos, I was making comments every time I went and watched them play, how much he was standing out. But he was playing as a midfielder in these scratch matches and in these match simulation sessions that I was going to watch. But we really didn't see him play that same role when it came to the season. Now, was that due to an injury he had? Did something happen internally? I don't know. But the fact is, he was 100% a midfielder during preseason training, and then he was 100% a forward pinch hitting in the midfield type player once the season came around. And for me, I've always said this, I think he's a midfielder. I don't think he's a forward. I understand why he's there in the forward line. He can do special things, that great goal against the Doggies 2019. But this is the story with David Cunningham. It's always about that particular moment in that particular game, as opposed to that block of games over the month that he's played, or, that 6-week purple patch that he's had. So it's just tough to get a gauge on his development, and did he really improve? I don't know if I can really say honestly that he did improve. He showed flashes. I think it was pretty much, more or less of the same as what we've seen from him throughout his entire time at the club so far. So I know that he's very highly rated internally. Obviously got that 3-year deal where we had to wait 28 minutes to hear about it. Still don't really know why the club did that, but it is what it is. I guess you can't get them all right. But for me, I want to see him as a midfielder in 2021. I really do. I think when you look at the profile of the midfield now, guys like Mark Murphy, guys like Ed Curnow, we're now entering the last year, 2, 3 years of maybe those two. And for me, Cunners needs to be, taking Murph's spot. I love Mark Murphy, but if David Cunningham wants to fulfill his potential, this is my view obviously, because I think he's a midfielder, then he should be taking Mark Murphy's spot. He's got very similar attributes to Murphy. He's nowhere near the player that Murphy was when he hit his prime, but he still has some serious talent, Cunners. So I don't know if he's going to become a star consistently week in, week out, but that there's so much X factor about him that you kind of have to play him. You have to nurture the talent there and hope that it pays you back when he really starts hitting his prime. Once he's 26, 27, 28, I'm hoping that we start seeing a more consistent David Cunningham. If he's playing forward, can he apply 3, 4, 5 tackles in a game, kick himself 1 or 2 goals? If he's playing in the midfield, can he get you 20? If Dave Cunningham's getting us 20 possessions, I don't know if we're losing too many games, because he's got all of the tools needed to impact games at a high level. So, yeah, still waiting for Cunners to really win me over. But, there are some glimpses there, and hopefully with the team getting better, he will get better as well. And hopefully, we can get a season where he doesn't have any soft tissue injuries. That's something that's hindered him from the first year that he came to the club. So I'm looking forward to that. What about you? How did you see Cunners in 2020? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know, do you see him as a midfielder, or do you see him as a forward, or do we just keep rolling with this dual position type thing that we're trying to do with him and a few others? I'll see you in the comments.